Later this week, Phase 7 of Season of Discovery will make its debut on the PTR, and Blizzard have teased at several exciting additions coming with this update. Blizzard describes this PTR release as an early look at Naxxramas, along with some fun new surprises in store for us. It'll be fascinating to see what this version of Naxxramas entails. Could it be a partial revamp akin to Black Fathom Deeps or Nomagon, showcasing only a few bosses or one wing, or will it retain the full raid format but incorporate difficulty adjustments similar to those seen in Molten Core and Blackwing Lair? That said, Blizzard didn't make significant mechanical changes to Anchorage 40 aside from altering the raid size, so it was unclear how extensive these updates are going to be. Hey guys, Future Meta Goblin here. So it turns out that Naxxramas currently has 5 different difficulty modes, and Blizzard have kind of hinted that well, they say that there's 5 right now, hinting that there could potentially be more. It almost feels like this version of Naxxramas is going to be a bit like maybe Mythic Pluses in retail, like Mythic Plus Dungeons. We're getting like Mythic Plus Naxxramas. This makes sense if you think about it, and I think weirdly it's a good sign. Naxxramas is the last raid of, well, Season of Discovery, if Season of Discovery is just going to be a season and is not going to turn into something else. But I think this is an indication that it is going to turn into something else, and that's why they have introduced a very progressive long-term difficulty setting for Naxxramas to keep players, you know, challenged and interested and invested in the game for a longer period of time than usual, while they do potentially work on something new for Season of Discovery, a Phase 8. In addition to Nax, Blizzard have hinted at new open world secrets for players to discover during the PTR. These secrets are expected to provide hints about the broader content of Phase 7. We've also been teased a high resolution loading screen artwork of Tyr's Hand, a location within the game of great intrigue. If we compare the artwork to the in-game landmarks such as the cathedral, ramparts and the catapult, obviously the banners and the trees and everything, it's evident that this is Tyr's Hand. The level of detail leaves really little doubt. Tyr's Hand is a sprawling zone with diverse enemies, multi-tiered interiors, several named NPCs and bosses, and despite its complexity, there's a surprisingly few amount of quests associated with this area, aside from some minor steps in the Nefana's Blightcaller's quest chain. This has led to speculation that Tyr's Hand may have been intended as an elite questing hub, like the next one after Raventusk Village in the Hinterlands, but was just never completed. Hey guys, Future Meta Goblin again. So it appears when you go to Tyr's Hand in-game right now on the PTR, there is quite a little bit of a surprise. So originally in Vanilla WoW, when you go to the back of the Tyr's Hand area, there is just a wall. And then later in, obviously, post-Wrath of the Lich King, post-Death Knight starter area, there is an open gate. And this obviously leads to the Scarlet Enclave, which, as we know, is basically the Death Knight starting area. Right now, it's an invisible wall, you can't go through it, but maybe obviously in the future, this will have an instance portal, and this is where the new raid is going to be. We can also see, when we do look at data mining, that there is a new raid map, Karazhan Crypts, and Scarlet Enclave. But we can also see Eastern Plaguelands Scarlet Raid Phase as a new map in the game. So is this going to be part of the instance, or is this something to do with a potential new world event tied to the new raid? Interestingly, online theories go even further down a rabbit hole, with some even suggesting that Tyr's Hand was linked to a cut vanilla quest chain where players would sacrifice their character to become a Death Knight. Now, this whole quest chain cut thing about Death Knights having to sacrifice their current vanilla character, it's never been confirmed or data mined or confirmed by a developer or anything like that, but it is a compelling idea. However, there is evidence of certain things. Data mined assets from the Vanilla WoW Alpha and Beta clients include unused scripts and models associated with the Scourge, as well as dialogue references to Death Knights. Developers have also acknowledged that hero classes were considered during Vanilla WoW's development, but were ultimately shelved due to concern about balancing and the complexity of these elements. When you bear that in mind, and then you consider that Tyr's Hand is so extensive, yet there's not really any quests associated with it, it does kind of give you the idea that maybe this area was part of an early, ambitious plan to implement Death Knights in the game, but was later abandoned, especially when you consider that the Death Knight starter zone in Wrath of the Lich King did actually turn out to be an instance version of a Scarlet Enclave and Tyr's Hand. You've got to think, why is there basically no quests going on with this area, yet it's so extensive with so many elite NPCs and bosses, so many multi-layered floors of the interior locations? A lot of work has gone into Tyr's Hand, yet there wasn't really any content there. The idea of Death Knights in vanilla World of Warcraft might seem far-fetched at first, however Blizzard have dropped subtle hints that keep the speculation alive. For example, in Season of Discovery they initially teased Paladins gaining the Howling Blast rune, a signature Death Knight ability. This was later confirmed to be unavailable for Paladins, leaving the community to wonder, well, why was it teased at all? Why put that in the video? Blizzard's official videos obviously must get very carefully reviewed before they are released on the official YouTube channel, so it just seems very unlikely to be accidental or a mistake. This could be another instance of Blizzard's well-known habit of leaving breadcrumbs to stir up player speculation. Now guys, if you're getting hyped for Phase 7 and feeling the urge to actually return to Season of Discovery and you want to get your characters caught up for Phase 7, then by far the fastest way to level up is to use an optimal leveling guide like Rested XP. It gives you so many tips on how to gain extra experience while leveling up, and it helps you tag mobs much faster. This guide is also available for Classic Anniversary Realms, Cataclysm Classic and Retail, so you can use my discount code MetaGoblinFresh also for an extra 15% off. Now if you didn't play a Paladin in Season of Discovery, you may have also missed Gregory. Now Gregory is a Death Knight NPC with free will. He has broken free from the Lich King's control. Unlike typical Death Knights, he is basically a good guy. His story is explored through extensive dialogue, where he also hints that other Death Knights may be breaking free as well. The effort put into Gregory's character and narrative raises questions. Why would Blizzard invest so much time into a story about a Death Knight escaping the Lich King, only to have it tied to a Paladin rune quest? It feels like deliberate groundwork for a larger narrative arc gameplay feature potentially involving Death Knights. You've got to think, why on earth is all of this stuff in the game? Season of Discovery is in need of a major drawing point to keep players engaged, especially now that it competes with Classic Fresh. Given Blizzard's precedent with Demon Fall Canyon, where a new instant portal appeared via a quest item, it's reasonable to speculate that Tyr's Hand would basically receive a similar treatment. You know, you press something in your bag and the instance portal appears outside of Tyr's Hand. A burning flag at the site hints that the instance will take place basically, well, where it is set in the game, in the open world, which, you know, further backs up that theory. Possibly it is going to be a dungeon or a small-scale 10-player raid. While Naxxramas will remain the main endgame raid, Tyr's Hand could serve as a stepping stone or side content. While Naxxramas is one of the most iconic raids in WoW, it's also a contentious one. Many players are fatigued by the raid, having farmed it extensively during Wrath of the Lich King. In its original vanilla iteration, it also had a steep consumable and therefore gold requirement, which alienated the casual player base. Blizzard may nerf the difficulty or adjust its mechanics, transforming it into a progression raid that leads into this new instance, which I personally think would be the more exciting and interesting approach. Blizzard have also dropped multiple hints about the Karazhan crypts, also an area that aligns very thematically with Death Knights. Development accounts indicate that Lower Karazhan was designed alongside main Karazhan during vanilla World of Warcraft actually, but it was ultimately shelved. Originally, vanilla was intended to feature Karazhan, the Emerald Dream Raid, and Outland and a few others as actual patch updates, but instead they decided to begin the trend of releasing expansions. It always seemed weird how, you know, this whole new expansion was about going to Outland, and then we ended up back in the vanilla world for Tier 4 raiding for Karazhan. But this is essentially why. Blizzard didn't want to, you know, waste the development they already put into Karazhan. Karazhan crypts themselves are a grim and eerie location, featuring areas like the Pit of Criminals, littered with piles of bones indicating mass murder, and the Upside Down Sinners, a chamber of drowned corpses. Its dark, dungeon-like aesthetic suggests an underground torture facility of some kind. If Blizzard revisit this content... Did I actually just say the C word there? The cut content. It'll be fascinating to see how they reimagined it and implement it, and then also, you know, keep the game under a certain age rating for, you know, obviously it's different in different countries, but I think it's like, what, PG-13 in America? So how are they going to implement this new content but keep it toned down? It's also important to note that while I have been making this video, there has been some more data mining, finding some interesting items related to Karazhan crypts, like for instance the Violet Satchel, which begins some kind of quest. We've got the Deadwind Cage Key, and there's a lot of epic items, meaning that this dungeon isn't going to drop blue items, it is actually going to drop epic items. Does that mean it is actually going to be raid size, like a 10-player man raid, or is it still going to be a 5-man? And the last big update to Season of Discovery has already gone live, the introduction of the Rune Broker. This feature allows players to purchase all runes for just 1 copper on their alt characters, providing they just have a piece of gear to affix the rune to. This has led a surge of interest in min-maxing low gear optimization, with guides popping up on how to acquire more gear slots at level 1. If you're looking to gear up basically quickly at level 1, guys, you want to look at the bind on account items from the Duratar supply and logistics vendor. They are a great starting point because they're basically level 1 heirlooms. But why now? This change is clearly designed to make it easier for returning players to dive back into Season of Discovery. By lowering the barrier to entry for alts and streamlining rune access, Blizzard is signalling a strong desire to re-engage players with Season of Discovery. But the timing raises a significant question. Why is Blizzard pushing so hard to bring back players now, when they are basically getting close to, well, every single piece of vanilla content being out? Is the future of Season of Discovery after Phase 7 going to be even more interesting? The answer likely lies within the upcoming Phase 7 update, which we will learn more about in January, whether it's going to be new dungeons, raids, or game-changing mechanics, maybe a totally new future of Season of Discovery that is going to look something more like Classic Plus. It really does seem like Blizzard is setting the stage for a big reveal that will justify these quality of life updates. But anyway, guys, what do you think about the future of Season of Discovery, Phase 7 and beyond? Will it be a massive overhaul, tantalizing an expansion of exciting content, or are they just going to be lazy and like progress other characters into Outland? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for any new updates on Season of Discovery. My name is Matt Goblin. Until my next video, ciao.